My sister-in-law excludes me from her party but hosts it at my dad's venue, so I ensure it becomes her worst nightmare before she's forced to invite me. My sister-in-law and I had a huge fight recently. It all started when we were having lunch at my mother-in-law's place. Her birthday was coming up, and she wanted to plan a huge party. My parents are in the party business and own a couple of venues, so she asked me if I would talk to my father about one, and I told her sure, that he would send the details and cost prices of the venues he owned, and she could choose any one she preferred. I told her it would be expensive, though. The next week, we again met at my mother-in-law's place for lunch. She was trying to convince her mother to pay for her birthday, which she declined, saying it was a ridiculous amount. Her father agreed. She was persistent, though. She came to my husband, her brother, and told him that he owed her and had to pay for the whole birthday party, if not at least half. My husband called her out, saying he didn't owe her anything, and he wasn't going to pay for anything. He told her to stop acting like a fool. She stomped off at the table. While everybody was eating, she demanded that if we loved her, we would pay for her party. Everybody just laughed and went back to eating and talking. She finally lost it and came at me, saying that I should be able to give her the venue for free instead of hoarding money from her. She said that my family owned it, so she should be able to get it for free. She asked me what type of person I was for taking money from her. I cut off her rant and told her that my parents owned those venues, not me, and even if I did, would be ridiculous to let her host her party for free. I asked if she knew how much went into organizing a party, paying the staff, the food, the decorations. I told her that I had warned her that it would be expensive. Just because my parents owned it doesn't mean that anybody gets it for free. With family, yes, so I can ensure the quality of the party. This business is not a charity. She was acting like a kid. She blew up after that, and her parents shut her down immediately. They told her she had no right to demand anything from any of us. She was an adult now, and nobody was responsible for her. She stormed off, leaving midway. Mother-in-law and father-in-law apologized to everybody for her behavior and asked us to continue eating. I could tell they were embarrassed by her behavior in front of everyone. Sister-in-law had tried coaxing other aunts and uncles too, but it hadn't worked. She didn't show up for lunch next week. A couple of days later, my husband received an invitation to her birthday party. We found out that everybody had received an invitation except me. She was holding a grudge against me, but she did decide to host the party at one of my father's venues. Nobody knew where she got the money from. She blacklisted me, and it was laughable. I didn't care, but I knew some of the people that were going to help organize the party and decided to mess with her. I didn't do much, but I told them not to make or help make any decisions for her. It was going to overwhelm her. She just wanted a big party but had no plan whatsoever. That venue could hold hundreds of people, so if she couldn't get a grip, that party would turn into a tragedy. A few days passed, and some of my friends who worked with my parents told me she was acting pissy. I may have told them not to help her out, but this woman wasn't letting them do their work either. She kept changing her mind about the positioning of the decorations, the tables, the food, etc. It was a disaster waiting to happen. At the next family lunch, she was there. Her party was less than a week away. My husband had already told me that he wasn't going to go if I wasn't invited. I told him I didn't mind if he went because, after all, she was his sister, but he said that would only indulge her behavior, and he wasn't going to tolerate the disrespect towards me. I didn't speak to her or look at her. We were having lunch in the backyard. It was a cute setup, and the weather was pleasant. My husband and I were mingling with the rest of the family when she came up to us. She handed me an envelope and walked off, rolling her eyes. It was her birthday party invitation. She clearly didn't want to invite me, but I'm sure mother-in-law and father-in-law forced her to. I didn't give it much thought and just set the envelope aside and continued my discussion. When we went home, my husband asked me if we were going to go to her party, and I told him that I would think about it. I looked at the invitation and saw that the party had a dress code. It would be hilarious if I was overdressed. Knowing her, she would want to be the center of attention. I decided not to, though. It would be too obvious. My husband and I decided to go to her party. I had pale skin, so I wore a sleek white dress but added bright red rose accessories to my hair. It made me stand out, but in a good way, not in a she is trying to steal attention away way. I had followed the dress code after all. The venue was nicely decorated in quite a few clashing colors. We joined our family, and my mother-in-law commented on the decorations. It was clearly very obvious. Everybody complimented me, saying I looked stunning, and I thanked them. Soon the birthday girl, that is my sister-in-law, entered. Not many people had shown up. There were only around 30 to 40 people here. It looks like someone forgot to RSVP. She could have chosen a smaller venue instead of this one. She came up to me and gave me a dirty eye. I smiled at her, told her she looked beautiful, and wished her a happy birthday. She wore a princess dress, and it wasn't doing anything for her body type. She looked like a pink puff, to be honest. She was eyeing my dress. She asked me why I wore that dress on her birthday, and I looked at her innocently, saying it was the dress code. Father-in-law commented that it was a nice dress, and everybody in the group agreed. She looked baffled and accused me of trying to sabotage her birthday, and I gave her a shocked expression. Trust me, her pink poofy dress was the center of attention. I told her that I was dressed in a simple white dress, and that she was dressed in the pink princess dress. I asked her how I was trying to sabotage her and told her she may have misunderstood. It was hilarious. She dug herself deeper when she called me a bitch in front of the whole family and started the tantrum about how she had put in so much work for the party and even taken out a loan for it, and she continued. I just faked the hurt expression. Her parents, on the other hand, were enraged by her language. They didn't tolerate it. Mother-in-law smacked her on the head hard and told her to shut up. She went off on her, telling her to back off and to stop accusing me for no reason. She told her to watch her mouth. Sister-in-law looked at her shock and said, "It's my birthday," mother-in-law said. "Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean you get to spew nonsense and act like you're from the streets." She said, "I brought you up better than that." Father-in-law, on the other hand, gritted his teeth and asked her if she had really taken a loan. Sister-in-law's face paled. Other family members had joined us, wondering what was happening. The others were staring. Sister-in-law confirmed that she had. "Who the hell takes a loan for a party?" Father-in-law asked her how much it was, and she tried to dodge the question by saying not much and that she could handle it. I highly doubted it. The venue itself cost a lot. She finally spewed out a number, and everyone gasped in shock. Father-in-law tried to keep calm and asked who she thought was going to pay for it. She stared at the ground in shame. She said again that she could handle it. Father-in-law said, "You better," because he wasn't going to dig into his pockets for this. At this point, my husband excused us from the group and said that we were going to be leaving early as we hadn't planned on staying for long. I gave everybody a sad smile before walking away. In the car, my husband told me it was better to get out of there now before it got worse. I agreed with him. He apologized and asked me to ignore his sister's attitude, and I nodded my head. We went out for dinner as there were no starters at the party except for some potato thing, and we hadn't eaten anything yet. 2 weeks later, a few days after the party, my husband got a call from my sister-in-law. She asked him to borrow money, which he declined. He had asked her what she needed it for, but she wouldn't say. It turns out it was for a dress she wanted to buy. He told her to stop calling him for money to shop, and told her to put a stop to her expenditure. Some people never learn. LOL. Is she planning to drown in debt? My sister was looking at a few venues to host her party. I know how much that costs. NTA. Sister-in-law seems like a spoiled brat. Opie knows how to deal with people like her. YTA. You had a fight, and she didn't invite you. It is okay for people to not invite you to events. You absolutely did not have to go trying to sabotage her party. It's not like she wasn't paying your parents or the decorators. You were unbelievably horrible. My sister, 20, female, confided in me, 19, female, that the guy she's seeing online is about to get kicked out of the house by his parents and has nowhere to go. And she'll be helping him with money from the college fund our mom had set up for her. I was instantly alarmed, as this is a common scam, and even if it wasn't, this guy being kicked out of his parents' house is still concerning about his character, especially since they never even met. The girl, I failed to convince her not to do it, and begged her to at least let me tag along from afar when she withdraws the money and goes to meet him. She said yes. But when we went to the bank, she actually made a request for $6,000. I was shocked and kept hysterically begging her not to do this. She was carrying $6,000, all in cash, and going to meet this guy. She got tired of me pushing and yelled at me to leave her alone, and that she changed her mind about me tagging along. She then just went ahead and hailed a taxi. I hurriedly went and blocked the door and begged the taxi driver to also take me with her. I told him she was irrational and didn't know what she was doing. I ended up going into the taxi with her. On the way there, I called my bro and mom and told them what's going on. My bro said he was coming, and I shared our live location with him. My sister was absolutely mad and said I was horrible for doing this to her when I know how much she hates both mom and bro and doesn't trust them. She also said I had no right to interfere, even if she was scammed or harmed. She then stopped the taxi and ran out and growled at me not to follow. I ignored her and kept following. When my bro in his car honked at us, we both turned back, and when I looked back again, my sister had started running while he got down from the car, and we both chased after her. In the end, we caught up. My bro told her he'll be following her all the time until he sees this guy, and he will get him to back off. My sister just broke down in tears, called us all freaking nuts that she won't be going anywhere, and to just leave her alone. We insisted she comes home right away, which she did. She went to her room and slammed the door in my face and wouldn't talk to me ever since. My mom said she will understand in time when she matures how big of a favor I did her and not to worry, but her reaction still ate at me, and I'm not sure if I really did the right thing. ATA? Hello. Well, NTA. She'll learn and understand when the guy stops talking to her when she's not a financial pipeline for him. You did the right thing. I would also recommend getting that college fund set up so only your mother can withdraw money or do anything with it. That money is there for her education, not to give away to random guys. NTA. If they just agreed to meet up for coffee and you'd acted with this amount of intervention, that'd be one thing. But nobody asks an online, so to come packed with $6,000 the very first time they meet up in person. These fish stank for a reason, and you acted with a completely appropriate amount of concern for your sister. Had you let her go and something terrible had happened, you'd have never forgiven yourself for not trusting your instincts. It can sometimes feel like cold comfort, but know that you did the right thing. Hopefully, she'll come to see that soon. I'm 16, female. My parents have been divorced for 6 years. I don't know why, and neither will tell me. My mom remarried 4 years ago, and my stepdad has 3 kids, 14 female, 11 male, 9 male. I alternate weeks between my parents, but I'm closer with my dad. I also don't like the steps that much, so when I'm at mom's, I mostly try to stay out of the way and do my own thing. My mom has been trying to make everyone get along for years, but it's not working that well. My dad is pretty well off, but my mom and stepdad aren't. So the kids get mad when I have nicer things that they want or get to do things they can't. My mom has asked my dad to let them come along before, and he refused. Which I'm fine with because I kind of just want to get away from them when I'm not at mom's. It's a big issue for all of them though, so I leave most of my nice stuff at my dad's and don't talk much when I'm at mom's because they always find something to fight about. This year, my dad's side of the family isn't doing a big get-together for Christmas, so since this is my year with him, he suggested we go on a trip to Europe. He has business to do for one day, but we would vacation a week together after and spend Christmas with a friend of his in Sweden. I'm stoked, but my mom and stepdad don't want me to go. I won't be close enough to stop by on Christmas, and they're not going to be able to afford to do much for the kids. So me going on an expensive trip when they're mostly getting clothes and stuff will upset them. I told them to just not tell them then, and I'll Zoom on Christmas, but my stepdad got angry and told me I'm selfish. My mom called my dad and thought about it, but I'm still going to go. For the last 2 weeks, my mom has been hardcore trying to find any reason that I can't go and bring it up anytime we talk. She went through my room while I was at school, and she said she was looking for a piece of jewelry, but I think she was looking for my passport and stuff, which is at Dad's. She tried to guilt me about not seeing my grandparents, just on, and I got tired of it and told her that if she doesn't stop, I'm not coming over anymore and living with Dad. Full time. My stepdad hit the roof and yelled at me for threatening my mom and always letting my dad buy me off with expensive stuff. My mom won't talk to me. My dad said he wants me to have a relationship with my mom and to go easy on her, but it's up to me. AITA? OP, you are NTA. What your mother and stepfather are doing is actually kind of toxic. You are still legally a minor, and therefore your father had no choice but to tell your mom about a planned overseas trip. However, you are 16 years old. You are fully within your rights to have your dad go to the courts to modify the custody arrangement so that you can live with your dad full-time and only see your mom when you choose to. When the courts ask you why you wish this, be honest and say that you do not really get along with your step-siblings or your stepfather, and that you are made continuously uncomfortable when your mother tries to force your father into doing things for her stepchildren. Tell the courts that you find this to be kind of toxic and do not wish to live in it. OP, don't threaten to live full-time with your dad. Make it so. NTA. I think you need to put your mom and step-family on an information diet. Don't let them know of the things you're doing as much as you can. I, male, 27, have been with my girlfriend, Wendy, 25, for 6 months now. Next year, we will be traveling to meet my extended family. A little bit of background. My parents are from France, and they moved to the US before I was born. I never learned French because I found it boring, and then as an adult, I found it difficult. Languages are just not my thing, but I know that they come easier to other people. Wendy already speaks Spanish fluently, even though no one in her family does. And she's now learning Korean. So I asked her to start learning French before she meets my family, and she refused. I said that languages are easy for her, and she should do it so my family likes her. She told me to learn it myself, and she's not doing it, and I've called her an a-hole. Told her she knows how difficult learning languages is for me, and it wouldn't be a problem for her. She said no, that she didn't have the time. I said that she had the time to learn Spanish to watch telenovelas, and that she has the time to learn Korean to watch K-dramas. So she definitely should have the time to learn French to speak to my family. If she can do it for such silly reasons, she should certainly do it for something so important. She told me to learn it myself and call me an a-hole. She ignored me for a few days and we met yesterday. I started the topic again, hoping she cooled down, and she refused again. I was mad. I told her she didn't respect me nor my family, and asked her, could she expect to be part of my family when she refuses to speak our language? She wasn't happy and told me to go frick myself. I'm trying to understand what's going on, and I'm wondering if I was, in fact, an a-hole. Perhaps I should have been more understanding and give her time to realize she had to learn French. Tia? People seem to be misunderstanding. I don't expect her to become fluent in a few months. I wanted her to at least start learning so she can know the basics. Our language. You can't learn the language your parents speak in 27 years, but you call her TA for not doing it in a couple of months. Learning languages can be hard, sure, but you've had your entire life.